What's up guys and welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about how to get a 780 plus on the math SAT section. First, I downloaded all the QAS tests from previous SAT and PSAT tests onto my computer. Well, why did I did this? Well, all the patterns on the QAS tests are pretty similar to the SAT test you might take. Since they're previous SAT administered tests, it makes sense that they would have similar math concepts, similar tricks, and similar traps set by the College Board. After downloading these tests, I bought the SAT College Panda Math Workbook. So it looks like this: SAT Math Advanced Guide and Workbook. So this is a very good book since it talks about all of the topics on the actual SAT. Can't read now. Okay. So there's exponents, percents, there, exponents, radicals, percent, exponential versus linear growth. And yeah, so there's a lot of math topics in here. So there's examples. I'm just gonna let it focus. Yep, there are examples and there are also practice questions in the book. So right here, let it focus. I think it's focused. Okay, so yeah, if x squared equals y squared, yeah. So there are practice problems, a lot of practice problems in this workbook, including strategies. So it's really helpful to learn these strategies and then practice them. I also got the College Panda 10 practice tests from the internet. Yeah, I downloaded it for free from the internet. Yep. Okay, and then I studied a chapter from the College Panda book around every day or so, at least one chapter a day. And then I practiced those same math skills from Khan Academy. Try to practice them and exhaust all the level 4 questions, or at least reach level 4 on that skill so that you know that you've mastered that skill and can go on to another topic without the occurrence of making mistakes on the actual SAT. Once you've mastered the concepts from Khan Academy and the College Panda, then take a practice test from either Khan Academy or on paper every weekend in order to assess where the mistakes are actually happening. You may be doing this as a part of your full SAT prep for both reading and math, but it's really important that you focus on math on this video. In order to record the mistakes that I made and ensure that I don't make those mistakes again, I prepared a spreadsheet and noted down all incorrect question numbers for both the non-calc and calculator section for that specific practice test. Since Khan Academy only has 10 practice tests, I would recommend doing the QAS downloaded test from Reddit and then recording the data for that as well so that you know where you should practice before test day. Make sure to analyze your mistake. This will help you figure out if you are missing an actual concept or just making some careless mistakes that you can pay more attention and fix. If you think you haven't learned the concept, then I recommend going back to the College Panda book or doing some more practice problems from Khan Academy. Even if you've done them before, it's really helpful to do them again, learn new ways to solve those problems. Doing all of this, Khan Academy, College Panda Math Workbook will ensure that your math score will stay around 800 on the SAT test, consistent at least 780. Once you are done with the workbook and Khan Academy, do the actual QAS questions section-wise, like non-calculator section on one day and calculator section on another day. The calculator section and non-calculator section, even though their math and might look similar, have somewhat of a different pattern going on. And it would be helpful if you did them separately and assessed them separately. Time management is key on math problems. You can't be spending too much time on a math problem, yet you can't spend too less time either, because you want to make sure that they're correct in the first run through of the actual test. I would recommend making sure to complete the non-calc section in 15 minutes so that you have another 10 minutes to review all of those 20 questions. This 10 minutes, you should be checking to make sure you have the right variable. You haven't added something extra, you haven't subtracted something extra, or you didn't choose the wrong unit and stuff like that. Do the same thing for the calculator section. Even though you have 55 minutes to complete the whole test, try to finish the first run through. Try to finish all the problems in 35 to 40 minutes. This includes skipping and going back. Then keep 15 to 20 minutes to review all 38 questions. In order to review them thoroughly, 38 questions takes at least 15 to 20 minutes. And you also have to make sure that you have the right thing that the question is asking for. You can't give them perimeter when they're asking for area. If you have time, try to do all the QAS tests, all practice questions. This will ensure that you have the right amount of preparation to get that 800 math on the SAT math section. One more extra thing I did was download the 2400 version of the test. They're kind of different from the actual SAT test that's being administered right now, but I would still recommend going back, reading through, trying the practice problem, because it definitely doesn't hurt, right? Okay. The most important thing and the worst thing possible that can get you out of that 800 or that 780 to 800 range is careless mistakes. You must always pay close attention to what is being asked in the question and choose the answer accordingly. I failed to do this on the recent practice test in which I got a 1550. I missed one on the math section, and after leaving the test room, I realized I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. And it was definitely a careless mistake. I didn't read carefully, and I still regret it. Most of the times we do overlook and don't pay attention to whether or not we're being asked the value of X or Y, especially in systems of equations, linear, anything involving X and Y. It always asks for either X or Y in the problem. And well, we give the answer choice for Y when they're asking for X. So my strategy in how to avoid this whole mess is to write X equals or Y equals really big next to the practice problems. So whenever you're writing, do this on the actual test too. I accidentally said practice problems, but this will help you, like while you're trying to solve the equations, the system of equations, or anything involving X or Y, whenever you look down on your paper and look up to the problem, you'll see that X equals or Y equals, and this will get your brain right back on track on what you're trying to do. Make sure the unit in the question and answer choices are the same. If the question is asking for inches, don't put your calculated feet. Don't put 5 feet, and if you get 5 feet as your answer choice from your solving and the answer choice has a 5, but it says inches, don't pick that. Try to pick the answer choice that says 60 inches. And if you do not find the answer choice that you calculated while going through and showing your work, then clearly you made a mistake, and go check. Did you solve for the right thing? Did you make any careless mistakes, such as adding an extra number or subtracting instead of adding? This will make sure that you don't have a dumb mistake that gets you downgraded from an 800 to a 750 or something. 750 is still a good score, but try to get that math score up in the high 800 so that you can make up for any reading mistakes you might make. And remember, careless mistakes are a really big thing that can drop your math score and even drop your reading score. But I'm just going to talk about math scores. A recap: download QAS tests from the internet, buy the College Panda math workbook, and practice those skills from Khan Academy so that you have that 750 plus and have that high 800 on your score report. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps you get that 800 on your SAT math section.